We're here at Long Beach Comic Expo 2014, and this year they've made a change to a 2-day show, so we're super excited about that. We've been basically to every minute of every Long Beach show they've had here with this group in the last 5 years, and so this year they're kind of spreading out into that second day, and so it's a bigger show. They've moved upstairs, a larger room, many more panels, which one of the things that's always been great about the Expo is even as a 1-day show, they had a good selection of panels, but now with the 2-day, they've spread out, taking up a lot more room and bringing in a lot more talent to do some of the talks and things like that. So we'll be on the floor today, going through the cosplay, hitting the exhibit hall, and hitting everything that we can to kind of bring the show and bring the experience to you. So let's go and take a look around. One great thing about the Long Beach comic shows is definitely the location itself. It's really unrivaled outside of San Diego, and San Diego is always a beast unto itself, but that Gaslamp's its own unique thing. But outside of that, in terms of the California shows, of the 34 shows we attended last year, you know, nothing really is quite rivals what they do at Long Beach. And just simply the setting, they take over the concourse area with all the cars out here and things like that. But also you've got the Pike right across the street, so whether you want to see a movie, a piano bar, just tons of options to eat, go out by the water, just tons of stuff. The aquarium's right over across the way too. Just a lot of cool things to kind of take a break from that convention floor, get out, get some air, see some cool things out here. And the way the convention kind of bleeds out into the local area is just really cool, kind of awesome area. So definitely a reason we always recommend the Long Beach comic shows.
Did you know about that? No, I did not.
We are always pleased when you select Island Hoppers Tours because our ultimate goal is to bring those special memories that make the Hawaii.
Let's go one. It's cheaper.
Okay, so behind us we have the exhibit hall, which is really packed to the brim this year. The show moved, as well as to a 2-day, it moved upstairs so that they had more room there. And so there's over 100 dealers. And so it's kind of grown from what we've had last year. It is totally packed, lots of cool cosplay, lots of cool vendors, artists, a lot of great deals. But it's definitely a little bit hard to navigate right now because it's so compounded. So we'll try and get the best shots that we can in there, and we'll go take a look around.
Like this? Yeah, the control. $20 a day.
I'm not bad. I don't know. You gotta check the market. Gotcha. Yes.
Don't kill me. But,
got really full programming going on both days, and so a real big focus on comics and the creators behind them, artists, some really cool spotlights with, in particular, Len Wein, Marv Wolfman, and Jerry Conway, which are really, kind of the creators of so much of what we see in movies and TVs and video games today that we love, all taking center stage here this weekend. So a really cool focus on those creators and the work that they've done and kind of paying tribute to them makes it a really nice opportunity for comic fans in Southern California to hit the show. So definitely a cool thing. Let's take a look at some clips from the panels.
In his lifetime, created the Punisher. He's killed off Gwen Stacy. Yeah. Apparently, we've got a few fans in here of Mary Jane. Wrote for Justice League. Is there anything you haven't done? He crossed the great crossover. He wrote the great crossover, Superman versus Spider-Man. We know who won that battle. In the first minute, was not impressed.
Not impressed.
Not impressed. Was there ever a point where Stan did say, you know what, I was wrong. I'm impressed by you.
I don't think giving me Spider-Man probably meant that he tried to do it. So, Stan revises history in his own mind as on an ongoing basis. So he probably always thought it was wonderful. So,
He just didn't realize it at the time.
Right. But he was always very kind and very supportive, all of us. One of the neat things about Stan was that once he stepped away from something, he basically let you do what you wanted to do with it. He didn't second guess you. He didn't tell you how he would have done it. He just said, "Well, it's your book now. You go."
So I'm Tony Guerrero, editor-in-chief of comicvine.com. We have Marv Wolfman here, who
Some more enthusiasm, please.
we could go through a list of all of, if I listed the characters each one of you guys created, that would probably take up like a full panel.
That's fine with us.
But then we also have Jerry Conway here in the middle. And on the end, we have Len Wein.
Season 2 was
Hey guys, we're here with a quick Under the Con to wrap up Long Beach Comic Expo for 2014. If you've not followed along with our videos before, Under the Con is where we kind of go underneath the hood of the show. A lot of times we do it literally underneath the convention center in parking garages in our cars. We're kind of wrapping up for the weekend, but this time thought we'd take advantage of the nice lobby at the Hyatt Long Beach here, which we always love the hotel, and just do a real quick wrap up here. So show was a very busy show, I'd say, for a 1 day, or normally 1 day, now spreading to a 2 day. And so it was obviously the way I look at it really is it's a kind of a brand new show in a lot of ways, and it's not the same thing of what it's been in the past, because spreading to 2 days, it's just an entirely different dynamic. So it's kind of neat because it's kind of reinventing itself after a really strong 5-year history here. And so looking at it from that lens, lots of things we loved about the show this year. The panels were great in terms of what we saw with the comics, and just the focus on kind of really some legendary comic creators. And that was really kind of the highlight for us in a lot of ways, was seeing those panels and hearing those guys that are influencing so much of what we see in movies and TV today, and kind of those origin stories from the Jerry Conways of the world, Marv Wolfman, Len Wein, and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. to hit on a couple items from the show to kind of give a perspective on the floor. The floor was really packed. I believe they said they had over 100 exhibitors this year. So again, for their small show, because if you've not been to Long Beach before, the Long Beach Comic and Horror Con is their big show in the fall. But the spring show's always been their small show, kind of a single room, just kind of a nice little one-day type of thing. And so this was a step up in terms of that bigger room. A lot more vendors there, and just a lot more people buying, I think, as well. But we picked up some good deals on toys here. So picked up a couple of the DC Collectible Compulo figures, and so these were only 20 bucks each, which is a really awesome deal, as many of them have been hitting the secondary market a little bit higher at that 25, 30, even 35. We've seen them at some booths, so it's nice to be able to pick those up. There was a handful of new toy dealers, not much in the way of vintage toys, so something love to see a little bit more at the bigger show in the fall, and always, you know, something that we hunt for. Picked up some comics. Long Beach Comic Con, whether it's the Expo or the full-on horror and Comic Con, is always about the comic bins, and lots of great Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, current, you know, whether you're looking for brand new or you're looking for the, you know, 50-cent bins or the wall books, always great for those. So we just picked up a few from in that kind of $3 to $5, $6 range. Nothing too special on our list this time around, but just some fun stuff there, just searching around. And then one of the things we really wanted to highlight, Carmel picked these up, some unique kind of pieces of jewelry here. And this is something we're seeing more and more on the convention circuit as we're going to these Comic Cons, is you know, artists kind of creating their own variations on types of jewelry, some of them with a really strong steampunk type look to them. And so each of these items were $10 each, and they're just kind of neat because they were all kind of one of a kind at that particular booth. We didn't see them anywhere else. I'm not saying that necessarily every single one of these is handmade, although I kind of think they are. But that being said, it really kind of hits on what a lot of what we saw at the show this year, which is a lot of really uniqueness in terms of what the vendors had to offer. There wasn't you know, the standard t-shirt booth where you could buy, you know, the same thing online very easily. There's a lot of unique things, whether it was in terms of the jewelry, the artwork, the comics, etc., etc. And so a lot of stuff that come in here, you know, kind of gathers some of the best things in the SoCal scene in terms of the local artists. And I think that really speaks to what Long Beach is about, is really kind of taking care of the local artists and you know, that community, and really trying to cater to them and give them a place to kind of, you know, spread their work, and whether it be in panels to kind of publicize what they're doing, or on the vendor floor, exhibit hall. And so a lot of fun there. Some things just to look at for next year. Hopefully that we'll see some you know, changes a little bit. It was really kind of crowded, let's just say, in general, where they have the tickets pickup area and the cosplay corner. Always love to see cons that have a cosplay corner, because it just gives a place for the cosplayers to congregate, get the photo shoots going. But that being said, this year, because they were all everything was confined to that second floor with another convention going on the first floor, it really left a very small area, and so the cosplay kind of drained out into the main area, which is also where the ticket pickup was, and that area was just kind of a constant traffic flow problem. And so something I'm sure they'll address for next year. One of the things I always say with Long Beach is any little problems that they may have, they always address them immediately, and that's one of the really nice things of the show, is there's such great focus on the fans and customer service that you never really have to worry about there being like ongoing problems like we see at some conventions, to be honest. The other thing, there were some issues with air conditioning, and so it got really hot in the vendor room, or at particular parts of the vendor room for a while. And so personally, I was okay with it, didn't have too much problems with that, but it was crowded and it was hot at points, and I wasn't selling at a booth, so I could see that being a problem too. But obviously nothing the show can do about that. That's something that the convention center was working on, and accidents happen with that, so no big deal there. So all the way around, really, it was, you know, a lot of fun things there, a lot of cool things. And again, as we hit on earlier in the video, just Long Beach itself is a really great place to pick for a convention. You know, it's just got a great culture, great atmosphere, a lot of fun things to do that tie into the show and really makes it something that's fun for the weekend. So really excited about next year. The Long Beach Comic Expo actually is moving to February next year, a late February show, which is really cool because that's a very barren part of the con calendar, and I think it's going to do great there. We have Gallifrey, which we always really look forward to, but adding in Long Beach Comic Expo is going to be awesome there. It gets it out of that really crowded spring area and kind of gives it a full focal point. So I expect a really big and fun year next year. And then they've also already announced their 2015 Long Beach Comic and Horror Con as well, which will be in September. So they're on all set for another big year, finishing out this year obviously with the February show, and then going into next year with 2 more shows. So fun. Definitely looking forward to hitting all of them and checking them out again. So always a fun time, always a relaxing con, always good people, good service, and just fun all the way around. So hope you enjoyed our coverage of it. Definitely tweet us with more questions or find us on Instagram, Facebook, and obviously our website for all things Long Beach Comic Con, or hopefully all things related to conventions in Southern California and beyond. So until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.